I don't know about you, but I'm finding it harder and harder to keep track of all the big game announcements during the summer. There's like 1 million game showcases and 10 million game reveals. But let's be honest, mine was the best, right? Mine was the best. But lucky for you, I got you covered because in this video, I'll be condensing all the big JRPG announcements into a handy 12, starting with the game that you can play this summer. First up, we got the release date for Quartet, and it's going to be coming out August 26th for PC and late 2025 for PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. Now, if you don't know what Quartet is, it is a indie JRPG kind of in the vein of the Saga series or Octopath Traveler, where there's 4 pairs of characters and you start off doing their own different stories, but then eventually they come together and go off on one big adventure. And it looks super cool. You got a super unique cast of characters. I mean, one of the party members is a hippo. Tell me the last time you had a hippo in a JRPG as a party member. And it's got awesome pixel work, really awesome turn-based combat, and it's been in early access for a little while, or people at least have been playing it behind the scenes, and they've been telling me that the storytelling has been amazing. So I'm super excited to play this one. So if you love classic style JRPGs and indie JRPGs, Quartet's coming real soon. And a game I got to reveal at my showcase, IndieQuest, was Infinite Alliance. Now, this is a 16-bit style pixel art indie JRPG, but it's going to be sort of a Avengers style indie JRPG where all these characters from all these different indie JRPGs like 8-Bit Adventures, Chained Echoes, Jack Move, Quartet, Kingdoms of the Dump, My Familiar, and tons more are coming together in one big mega collab JRPG, and it looks amazing. You're going to have 3 characters that you can have in your party in turn-based combat, and they're just trying to save this world that they've all met in. Now, it'll be coming out in 2026 for pretty much everything, and the really cool thing is that it will be free. Essentially, the team is just making this game to market all the other games that are in it. So definitely go enjoy the game for free when it comes out, but then also support the other games that are in it by buying them. Now, this next one I almost didn't include because it was basically nothing, but Bandai Namco announced that the next Tales of Remaster will be announced later this summer. Now, they announced this at the Tales of Festival. I don't know why they didn't just announce it there. Maybe there's a bigger showcase later in the summer that they want to announce it for. But anyways, that's basically all there is. We don't know what it is. If the leaks are to be believed, it's probably going to be Tales of Exilia 1 and 2 or one of those. A lot of people want Abyss. They haven't really done a great remaster. I know they put it out on 3DS, but they haven't done a proper like HD remaster of Abyss, so it would be really cool to see that one. But anyways, we won't have to wait that much longer to see what it is. Now, this one's really interesting. Atelier Resleriana, The Red Alchemist and the White Guardian launches on September 26th for PC and PS5. Now, if you're wondering what this is not the gacha game that came out last year or maybe the year before. This is taking a lot of those assets and those characters from that game, but they're going to be putting them together in a traditional Atelier game. So it's going to have turn-based combat. The game stars Rias and Slade as the main characters, and it's going back to turn-based combat, which I know people were very excited for because Yumiya in the last Ryza game kind of leaned more action, but this one's going to be turn-based. And what's really cool is it's kind of an all-star Atelier game because it's going to have characters like Toturi and Sophie in the game, as well as others from the series. Man, if you are an Atelier fan, you're eating good this year. We had Yumiya not that long ago. We're going to have Resleriana in a few short months. So if you like your Atelier games, you're not going to have to wait that much longer to play this one. Disgaea 7 Complete will be coming west this fall for Nintendo Switch 2. Weirdly enough, it didn't get announced for PC or any PlayStation consoles, just Switch 2. I noticed NIS America has a habit of doing this where it'll just come out on one console when they do the complete version, and then later they'll put that same version out on everything. So this version will include the base game, including all downloadable content and bonus items, as well as a new bonus story, a new character, and new post-game elements. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Disgaea 7, it's kind of got more of like a samurai Japanese themed aesthetic, crazy over the top turn-based strategy RPG, and people seem to really like this one. It went fully 3D after 6. It looks fantastic. So if you never got a chance to play it or just want to play it again with a few new enhancements and all the DLC, they'll be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this fall. Next up, Class of Heroes 3 Remaster will launch September 18th for PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. Now, P-Cube has been remastering these Class of Heroes games. In the last handful of years, they did 1 and 2, and here comes 3, and it's going to have new and improved mechanics to make it more playable and enjoyable. But the thing that people really like about these games is that you can customize your party. You can kind of make your own team of 6 characters. You go out, you go do dungeon crawling, you get your gear, you get your money, you come back, you refresh, you go back and you do it all over again. And it kind of has this really cool academy setting where you can interact with different characters and stuff like that. So if you like the first couple of games, or if you never tried it and you want to dive in here, this is a great place to dive into. Next up, we got a pair of cool Xbox announcements for Final Fantasy games. The first being that Final Fantasy 16 is out now for Xbox Series consoles. I know it came out on PC and PlayStation 5, but Xbox fans have been clamoring for this to come to their console. And if you're only on Xbox and you've been waiting for Final Fantasy 16, it's out now. And apparently it actually runs a little bit better than on PlayStation. So this might be the way to go if you're only playing on Xbox. And next, it was announced that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade will also be coming to Xbox Series consoles on top of Nintendo Switch 2 later this winter. Now, Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of my favorite games of all time. The Intergrade version added the Yuffie DLC and as well as a lot of visual enhancements. So if you have not played this, you're just picking up your Switch 2, or again, you're only stuck on Xbox and you haven't played Remake, man, you're in for a treat because this is one of the best JRPGs of the last decade. Now, one of the most exciting announcements of the summer for me personally was Persona 4 Revival, a remake of the PlayStation 2 classic. Now, Persona 4 is my favorite game of all time, and I'm super excited to see what they do here after they did Persona 3 Reload, which I really enjoyed. And this will be coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles, but weirdly enough, no Switch 2, which I find odd. In fact, I've got a bit of a theory that maybe they're holding all these Atlas games like Metaphor and Persona 3 Reload for a upcoming Nintendo Direct, so we'll see if that happens. But the thing that people were a little bit disappointed with this one is that they didn't really show much in the trailer. They had some scenes of Inaba, like the floodplain, they had Yasogami High and stuff like that, and then Yuna Arakami was running around for like 2 seconds. They really didn't show much, so people were a little bit disappointed. And I even went back and watched the Persona 3 Reload reveal trailer, and they showed way more. They had an early 2024 release window, and here they had nothing. They didn't even have a year. So honestly, guys, I expect this one to come out in like 2027. So, don't be sitting around waiting for this one. Go think of something else to play. But I know when it comes out, it'll be fantastic. One of the more surprising announcements of the summer was Code Vein 2 coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. They didn't show any gameplay, not a ton of story stuff. It was just kind of this vague CG trailer, and it had a new art style that honestly I wasn't a big fan of. It's kind of like plasticky, or they look kind of fake, and I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with this one, but it's cool that Code Vein 1 sold well enough for them to want to explore a sequel. So it'll be interesting to see if you like those Souls-like type of games. This one should be coming out probably in 2026. They didn't have a release year on it, so maybe it's a 2027 game. By the way, very cool announcement for those that like those kinds of games. And maybe the most immediately exciting announcement from the summer for me was Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evilist Chronicles coming to basically everything: PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 1 and 2 on September 30th. We finally have this long rumored Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, and it seems to be coming fully loaded and it looks fantastic. So they are going to have the original kind of 4x3 classic version of Final Fantasy Tactics from the PlayStation 1. So if you just want to play that one on modern consoles, you can do that, but they're also doing an enhanced version that has new HD graphics, a new UI. You can speed up the battles. They're going to be adding new event scenes. I'm not exactly sure what that means. They didn't really go into detail with that sort of stuff. And they're also going to be doing a brand new voice cast. Everything's going to be fully voiced in the game, and including Ben Starr's going to be playing Dice Dark. So that's going to be really exciting to see. I'm just excited for a brand new generation of players to experience this game, because in my opinion, I think it's the greatest strategy RPG ever made, and I'll be playing it on this channel a lot. I'll probably be streaming it, doing a lot of videos. So if you don't know what this is, or you just want to check it out, this is definitely going to be the place for it. And last but not least, we have Digimon Story Time Stranger coming out October 3rd for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. Again, no Switch 2, which I find kind of odd. But either way, it's another Digimon game that has monster taming elements where you're going to be exploring the digital world and the real world. You'll have, turn-based combat. If you like the last handful of Digimon games, you're probably going to dig this one, although visually it seems like it took a nice big step up. The UI looks really, really slick. The only thing that worries me about this game is that I don't think it's going to be very well optimized because on console, it's only running at 30 frames per second, which is shocking because it's not like it's doing something mega complicated or the visuals are like super mind-blowing. Like there were games that are way more graphically impressive that can run at 60 frames per second on consoles, at least on PS5. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. So I would watch out for reviews on this one. But either way, cool to see more Digimon games if you like those. And it's coming out October 3rd, so you won't have to wait that long. Now, these were the biggest announcements from the summer, but if you want to check out a ton more amazing indie JRPG reveals for my showcase Indie Quest, be sure to check out the showcase right here. I think you're going to love it and find a couple new gems to add to your wish list.